Welcome to the FanMouth Fantasy Roundtable. I'm Erin here with Dave and Jeff, and we're going to tell you about our defensive picks for Week 10. Dave, who's your defense for this week?
Well, I'm going with San Francisco this week. It's a fairly high-priced pick, and they're playing out an above-average team. But what I like about this game is it's a very important game for both teams. The loser of this game is going to fall 2 games behind probably in their own divisions, maybe even out of the playoff grid at this point. I think both teams are going to treat this game like a playoff game. That being the case, I think you'll see them both in a defensive mode. I'm not sure Carolina has anything other than a defensive mode. But I think you're going to see the best 49ers defense. They've been playing great all year against Carolina's offense. I think that's a mismatch. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I think the San Francisco defense could dominate this game.
Yeah, everything you just described reminds me a little bit of that 49ers versus Vikings game last year. I don't know if you remember that, but Ponder gave him a little bit of trouble there. And I'm wondering if they have a problem with that mobile quarterback. You've seen it a little bit with Russell Wilson, how he gets under their skin a little bit, and they're not great at defending him. So I don't know if Cam's going to have success or not. I'm a Niner fan, so I hope you're right, okay? But I didn't go with the Niners this week. I didn't see any defenses I liked. So what I did is I started with one of these cheap defenses. I built my lineup from there. It didn't really matter to me who I got. I took the Saints because just watching the games, they look like the best defense to me, but I pretty much punted the position, and I've just spent extra money elsewhere.
I guess my question I would ask is, could you have just taken a blank at defense and
nice.
saved the money and put it toward another position? Is that allowed in our game?
No, it's not. But if I could have just spent an extra $5,000 on a tight end or something, then we're in business.
Well, I wish I could argue. I guess the Saints isn't a terrible pick. They're cheap, and they are playing at home, which is definitely to their benefit. I agreed with you this week, though, Dave, and I went with the 49ers. I'm also a Niner fan, so this is a tough pick for me because it's where my heart is, too. But I think, like you said, this is going to be a very interesting game. It's a must-win for both teams. I can see it being a defensive battle. What I do think might happen is Cam Newton might have to take some big risks down the field to try and put some points on the board. And when he does that, I'm hoping for maybe some interceptions. I think his long ball might not fall into his own receiver's hands.
And I do agree with what you said about Russell Wilson has given the 49ers trouble at times. But you would think that the 49ers, who have a similar type of quarterback, not exactly like Cam Newton, but a runner, a read option quarterback, you would think they'd practice enough against it so they wouldn't be surprised. Now, they will be surprised how big and strong Newton is as a runner.
Kaepernick is too, but yeah.
So I would hope that they're familiar with that kind of style.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I'm sure they're going to do is they're going to have Patrick Willis spy Cam Newton, which essentially takes a defender out of the picture and it opens up the passing game quite a bit. If he's going to be able to capitalize on that, I don't know, but that's likely what's going to happen.
Aldon Smith sounds like he also might be back in the lineup this week, which
maybe,
but I would pick him without Aldon Smith, but if Aldon Smith does make an appearance, I think that only adds to their value. He's an incredible player, and it could be boosting them up another level.
Probably a little out of shape, though. I don't know if he's really going to impact the game if he plays, but
well,
maybe.
I'll take him anyway. For all of our sake, let's hope the Niners do well.
Absolutely.
Those are our defensive picks this week.